All right, fellas, it's still Saturday. I mean, I was here this morning. I'm here now. I don't have a lot to do really, but I'm here. I'm ready to entertain you. I'm going to jump right into it. So what we're doing tonight is we're just kind of starting a new game, right? We're just going to start a new game. It's like I'm thinking of this as like a new chapter in my life, right? Like it's the book is getting pretty big. It's getting pretty thick, right? And like if you look up a section of that said, like if you look in the index under like if you look like women, right? It's a list that I'm not exactly proud of. It's a bit exhaustive, I think. A bit exhausting, not an exhaustive list, but it's going to be exhausting. But you know, we're putting the end to one of those chapters, and so we're going to begin a new open chapter. We're going to begin a new open chapter just about life in general. You know, it's August 1st. It's a new day. It's a new month. That's what we're doing. So with the new day and the new month, we're going to start a new game. I mean, it makes sense to me. And then maybe we'll talk a little about a few things later on once a couple people stumble into the chat room. If anybody's going to stumble in, I know I scheduled this originally for 7 o'clock, but I'm a little early. All right, so don't sue me. Don't sue me. Now, let me send the link out to a few people. I sent it already to Razman the Singleton Man. It says he has seen it, so I don't know why he's not in the chat room. He should be in the chat room. I have sent it to Henna, but Henna, she messaged me at about, I don't know, what time was it? It was maybe like 1 or 2 p.m. my time. So let's see, the last message I got from her was at 11 a.m. my time. So that would have been 11 a.m. Then you get the one carry. So that would have been 6 p.m. her time. And she was already wasted. She was already just wasted. Now, I had plans to get wasted on this stream tonight, but I have decided for reasons that I will not go into, I have decided to put a pause on that plan, so I will not be getting wasted on the stream. Instead, I will be drinking a ceremonial Diet Mountain Dew, and then I think we might go ahead and crack this open tonight. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to crack open the last Coca-Cola Zero that I have from that country. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. At some point, I got to put that to bed, but I know that a couple of you have asked me to talk about it. I will talk about it at some point, but for now, we're going to start new game. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay. Now, wait a minute, can I load up? Wait a minute. What's going to happen if, where's Unity Hub? Where is that? Okay, who's messaging me? What is this? I have a ton of videos, I believe so. Let me know if you'd like to get more videos done. Okay, yeah, no, the guy who edits my videos, he's asking me if I want to get more videos done. And I'm like, I do, but the problem is, the guy that edits my travel videos, his name is Warwick, right? I don't know what his real name is. I think it's like Warwick or something. Let's see. Okay, so I can't have two copies of Unity open. So the thing is I would just like to just send him the raw footage, and then he just does everything, right? Like the editing, which he does, and then the just like posting, which he has access to my YouTube page, so he can actually publish videos. But the thing is like I need somebody that's in my head, so that they know the things that like I want trimmed out of the video, they know the things I want kept in the video, and like he will when he does a good job at editing, but when he edits them, he'll send me a video that's like an hour and a half long. And then so I got to go through, watch the entire hour. Like I don't want to watch my own videos. I lived it. Why do I need to watch it? So I got to go through, and then I got to be like, okay, well at 3:45, cut from 3:45 to 3:52. And then, I got to do like that for like the entire hour and a half. And it's tiring. Honestly, it's a little tiring. And so what I would like to do is just be able to send him all the raw footage, and he just does everything. And this is no knock on him, right? But like, I don't trust him to cut and to decide what to cut and what to keep. Again, no knock on him. It's just, we're two different people. And like I would have my own opinion on the things that I would like kept, and he's going to have his own opinion, and like at some point it becomes his channel with my footage. Whereas you see what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to do like the video thing, like the travel video thing again. I have tons of raw footage. And like tons. Like I think like I just posted a video from Narvik, which I went to in January of 2025. And wow. So January 2025, and so I went there, and and I think I posted a couple videos from Fiji that I went to in like May 2025, somewhere around there. So it's just it's completely exhausting. Okay, so let me see. I want to look something up really quick because I like to torture myself. Just give me a second here, boys. Just give me a second. No. Here. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, I got a little distracted by watching something off screen, and I know that that's not very good for the entertainment factor of this channel. So, okay. So I was reading something. I was doing some old history research, and I have sufficiently quenched my thirst for knowledge. So the game, like, I don't even know what, like, this new game that we're going to write. This is the goal for 2025, or, you know, the next year or whatever. Let's see if let me get my split screen back. Okay, so I got that there. Easy. Oh, I was fooling around. So I had never heard of this mathematical programming language called Lean. And I guess what happened was, because this was a little, like, in the mathematical community, there was something, I think it's called the Collatz conjecture. Collatz conjecture. Now, let's see if we can actually understand what the Collatz conjecture is. But basically what happened was somebody had claimed to have proven it using AI and Lean, which is basically a language for mathematical proofs. And so between they were able to solve it, and like AI generated this code, this Lean code, and then the Lean code checked out, and like according to that, like the Collatz conjecture was solved. However, what it turned out to be a bug in the Lean compiler. So it wasn't actually proven at all. It was just a bug in the programming language that was used to prove it. So I want to understand what the Collatz conjecture is. Okay, let's see. Wait a minute. Collatz conjecture. Okay, let's just ask AI. I mean, you know, like, who reads Wikipedia anymore? Who reads that? Okay, can you explain? Like, I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, but I got that degree some years ago and really have not used it at all since. However, okay, can you explain, like, I have a bachelor's degree? Okay. Can you explain the Collatz conjecture? Collatz conjecture as though, all right, I don't know why I'm correcting myself for AI. As though I have a bachelor. Okay, so I want to understand, like, but so simplify it a bit, but you don't have to go crazy with it. All right, so let's just see what it says. I want to see what. Okay, the Collatz conjecture is a claim about repeatedly applying an extremely simple rule to a positive integer. Okay, so this is the 3n plus 1. Okay. So basically, what this says is no matter what positive integer you start with, the sequence eventually reaches 1. As an example, so if n is even, then you do n divided by 2. So in this case, you get 3. If n is odd, you do 3n plus 1. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And so you can see the sequence here. So basically what it's saying is that I guess the conjecture is for all positive integers that you will eventually reach 1. No matter what positive integer you start with, the sequence eventually reaches 1. So it's still a conjecture. And I guess there was some uproar because like I said, people thought that it had been solved, that had been proven. And yes, why computation is not enough. Well, obviously you can't compute an infinite number of integers. So of course it's not enough. Okay, so let me see why people expect it to be true. So there's a rough probability. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so that's actually if it had been explained to me as the 3n plus 1 conjecture, then I would have been like, oh, like I probably would not have remembered it exactly, but I would have been like, oh, it's like one of those like rule-based computational conjectures. There's a bunch of them out there. My personal favorite. Let me get some music. What happened to the music? Did the music stop? Let me get another song. Let's see. Not that song. Definitely not that song. Not that song. I don't want to listen to that song. Okay, this song is entitled "I've Given Up on Everything." I'm not there. All right, maybe we'll. No. Do we want to listen? Okay, we'll just listen to this. Okay, so one of my favorite mathematical, unproven mathematical conjectures is the twin prime conjecture, right? So the twin prime conjecture basically says that so a twin prime, first you got to start by defining a twin prime. And there's my okay. So a twin prime is it's two numbers, it's two prime numbers that are only separated by one number. Like the first, like 3 and 5, right? Like 3 and 5 are twin prime. 3. Why is that not working? Oh, my stars and garters. What's happening here? No. Okay, let's just no. Okay. So 3 and 5. I don't want to listen to this song either. This is going to depress me. Let's see. Okay, we'll do this. I think I'd listened to this earlier on the stream. Okay, so 3 and 5, those are twin primes because they're both prime numbers. They're only separated by one number. 5 and 7 are twin primes. And then I think by this, 3 and 7 are cousin primes. Like I think cousin primes are prime numbers that are only that are separated with a single odd number in between them, something like that. Let's see, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Those would also be. What else we got? I think 17 and 19. 20. We got 20. Let's see, 20, 29 and 31. It's 29. I'm pretty sure 29 is prime. Is it prime? Wait, what's going on? Where's the music? Okay. 29, yeah, So now I'm just going to list out some more. Okay, 30, 37 and 39. 39 is not prime. 39 is 13 times 3. I'm pretty sure it's 39. So 41 and 43 maybe. 46. No. So 51 and 53 maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, some of these are a little bit questionable, so I'll just stick with the ones that I'm sure are prime. I'm pretty sure these are all prime. But these are twin primes. And so there's constant searching for like the largest primes in the world, right? Like let's see, what is the largest known prime number as of today, right? Because it's like constantly being updated. So the largest known prime number is 2 to the 1,336,279,841st power. Wow. -1, right? -1, because 2 to any power is going to be even, and obviously an even number cannot be prime. But there is one very special. There is a singular, very special even prime number. And if there was anybody in the chat room, I would ask, do you guys know what that very special even prime number is? But I'm going to assume that even though I'm talking to myself, that everybody still knows what that special even prime number is. So this prime number is this seems old. I feel, because there is a, okay, so let me see, right? Because you got this here. Yeah. But see, that's the other thing, is like this is a Mersenne prime. So a Mersenne prime is basically a prime number that is like, it's basically 2, a Mersenne prime is any prime that is 2 to the x minus 1. It might be plus or minus one. I'm not sure. But this is the form of a Mersenne prime. I'm pretty sure it's the form of a Mersenne prime. It's been a while since I've done anything with my mathematics degree, but I still got a few marbles up in there kicking around. I still got a few of them. Oh, look what I got done today. Not that anybody's in the chat room, but check out what I got more work. I got more work done on my blackout tattoo. Do you know? I feel like I'm getting ripped off, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to go back to this place because it is insane how expensive tattooing has gotten. Like, it's just crazy how expensive it has gotten. First of all, I was charged for a full 3 hours, and I wanted to do the math on that. So it was like I gave a $100 deposit, and then it was $450 for today. $550, and he said this guy does $180 per hour. That's what his hourly rate is, times 3. So $540. I paid $550. Where does this extra $10 come from? Like, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It feels excessive. It feels excessive. That's less than what the guy in Botswana was going to charge me. And at this rate, it would literally be cheaper. It might literally be cheaper to just buy a ticket to Botswana, rent a hotel room for a couple of days. Well, shit, I still got a house there that I could go stay at. But rent a hotel room for a few days and just have the guy finish the tattoo. Like, that might be cheaper than getting it done here. It just pisses me off how expensive this country is. Like, that was my number one thing about yesterday. I talked about this already, but I got off the plane, I get out of immigration, I'm waiting for my bags, and I try to get a cart. And it's fucking $6 for the cart. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, Jesus Christ, they just nothing that I don't remember what movie it is. But it was some movie about like the Iraq War. And like an American soldier's talking to like an Iraqi, and like the Iraqi's like, oh yeah, no, I went to school for a degree in chemistry or chemical engineering or whatever. And then the American soldier's like, you must have a lot of debt. And he's like, no, college in Iraq is free. It's not free in America. And the soldier's like, nothing's free in America. Nothing in America is free. And I'm just like, man, that's true, man. That's true. But the thing about that, I will say that, like, with some instances of the United States, that it is annoying, that it is very annoying that nothing is free in this country. However, in other countries where things are free, something to keep in mind is a universal truth. And this universal truth is universal, meaning it is applicable to everywhere in the world, as far as from my lived experience. And the universal truth goes, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And if something is free, oftentimes you get what you pay for. So you do have to keep that in mind. Like, that is, like, you do have to keep that in mind. Let me put this down. Okay. So I don't know what to do about the rest of this sleeve, because at this point it's gonna cost me like another $1,000 just to get this sleeve done. I mean, and like, it's kind of pissing me off that, first of all, I got there at like 12:30. We didn't start until like 12:45, and we ended at 3:15. So that's like 2.5 hours, and I'm getting charged for more than 3 hours at what I feel is already an excessive rate. And it's just, I mean, I like the guy and he seemed nice, but $180? Like, come on, man. So I don't know. But I will say that I love the way it's looking. I love, like, right now it has this stuff called second skin on it. So he put second skin. I wonder if he charged me the $10 for second skin. What? I bet that's what it was. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna email and ask. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna ask AI to help me to generate the email, because I can't do anything on my own anymore. I went to get tattooed today, and They charged me $550 total when the hourly rate is $180, and I was only there for 2.5 hours roughly. So I want to write an email asking where the extra $10 was and when do I get my extra 30 minutes back. Help me write that email. I'm going to email them right now. I think they're probably closed today, but I'm going to email. Let me see. Did I delete? I think I deleted the emails I got from them. Give me a minute. I got to find those. Here we go. All right. So, no, I don't want to delete that forever. I want to move to inbox. How do I do that? Okay. There. Is it just me? Or do like emails just like go to mysterious places in Gmail sometimes? Okay. Let me see. Question. Hi, Pete. The guy who texted, the guy who tattooed me, his name was Pete. So I wanted to ask about the and I'm done tipping. I'm done tipping tattoo artists. I'm sorry. Maybe he added the $10 for the tip. I don't know. Okay. For the $550 total for today's tattoo appointment. My understanding is that the hourly rate is $180, and I was there, I was there for roughly 2.5 hours or so. 2.5 hours, give or take. So I mean, like, okay, let's see. But let me mention something. But it is fair. Okay, mention. It is fair that they, I mean, okay, in fairness, they never mentioned prorated hours. All right, so let's just, so I'm going to put that, okay, that changes the framing. Okay, I realize you may bill for, okay, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Let's see, I realize, oh no, I'm going to type it out because then that way it helps me like frame it and make sure it's there. Make sure it's like, it makes sense, give or take, okay? I realize that you may bill in full hour increments, which would bring the tattoo time to 540, but I'm still unclear about the additional $10. Also, I think it would be fair to mention up front that you don't, if you don't prorate prostate. Like Gmail literally auto-corrected prorate to prostate. Okay, if you don't prorate, okay. Also, I think it would be fair to mention up front if you don't prorate hours, as the hourly rate is already quite expensive. Thanks, Addie. All right, so let me pop this sucker into AI and see what AI recommends. Let's see. This is how I communicate with everybody. Like I mean, literally, like even during like the whole emotional thing that I had last week, this is how I was communicating with that person. Like I was literally just like kind of running everything by AI. Not everything, but often. Okay. I'd make the last paragraph slightly less confrontational while still being clear. Okay, fair. I also think, okay, so how did it said, I also think it would be helpful to mention up front if the time is billed. I'm going to say if. Okay. No, well, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I got to do this over here. All right, come over here. Not sure is in the room. Not sure. So not sure. I know you just got here, so let me catch you up really quick. All right, let me catch you up. So I went to go get more work done on my blackout tattoo, which, by the way, I think is looking fucking amazing. But they were charging $180 per hour, which I think is already expensive, but whatever. It's Northern Virginia. So $180 per hour. I get there at 12:30. We don't actually start tattooing until about, I don't know, about 2:40. I mean, we could say 2:37, right? I'm trying to get between what's halfway between 2:30 and what's halfway between 12:30 and 12:45. So it's like what is it, like 37 and 30 seconds, right? So I think it's fair. Like, we started around 12:30 and then we finished at like 3:10. So that's not quite 3 hours. It's actually a pretty big differential from 3 hours, a non-trivial differential from 3 hours, I would say, right? So, and so they charged me. I put $100 deposit down yesterday, and then it was $450 today. And so it's $550 total. And I'm like, okay, well, where's the three? Where is this happening? And if this motherfucker, if they come back and say there's a $10 charge for second skin, which is the stuff they put on, I'm going to be like, really? At $180 per hour, you want to charge me $10 extra for second skin? That's why I'm fucking done with tipping. Like, these motherfuckers are already charging me $180 per hour. I have a feeling this extra $10 is for the second skin. And then they fucking, and like, I had, like, when I went to go check out and I put my credit card into the machine and it says tip, I have no shame, absolutely no shame about pressing that zero, motherfucker, zero. Anyway, I want to finish this email. Okay, so my understanding is that the hourly rate is $180, and I was there for roughly 2.5 hours, give or take. I realize you may bill full hour increments, which would which would bring the tattoo time to $540, but I'm still inclined about the additional $10. I also think it would be helpful. I also think it would be helpful to mention up front that time is billed. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say if, because I want to know, like, if apparently that's what they do. If time is billed in full hour increments rather than prorated, which Gmail keeps autocorrecting to prostated, to prorated, particularly given the hourly rate. Thanks, Addie. Okay, so I'm going to put this back into AI and have AI proofread it and see if it's good to go. CashTune67s, what's up, man? How's it going, CashTune? Okay, so just fixed 2 small typos. Is billed an hourly rate? All right, so let's see. Okay, all right. I also think it would be helpful to mention up front if time is billed. Okay, yes, I typed is billed in full hour increments rather than prorated, particularly given the hourly. I typed hourly rate. Okay, so one more time, just pass this through and let's just make sure it's good to go. Don't argue about the bill after the fact. Either never go again. Well, I'm going to clear it up this time. Because if they come back and tell me it's $10, then I'll be like, all right, I'm going to finish the tattoo somewhere else. Because I'm literally like, you know what? I want to look at something really quick. So I think in a couple of weeks I'm going to go to Swakopmund, which is this coastal city in Namibia, and I'm wondering if there's this tattoo place, Swakopmund Tattoo. Little Russia Tattoo Studio. Okay. Wait a minute. Is this actually in Swakopmund? It is. Okay. Yep. I will get the tattoo done there. And I know earlier I was literally just saying that you get what you pay for. That, like, in most areas in life, you get what you pay for. But you know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to argue this. This is my first time watching you. What are you doing? I'm living my life, man. I'm doing my best. Okay. So right now I'm writing. So I went once again. So here's what I'm doing, CashTune. So I've been getting this blackout tattoo, right? Now, I'm going to catch you up on everything. First of all, hi, my name's Addy. I'm a computer programmer. I've been a computer programmer for a very long time. I don't really program computers that much these days. I program programmers. Hi, I am 50-some years old. We're making a Unity game. I just saw Not Shore's message. And, about 2 months ago, I thought that I was leaving the United States, not for good, but at least leaving it in some type of permanent fashion and moving to Botswana. And well, here I am less than 2 months later, back in America. Well, while I was in Botswana, I started getting this blackout tattoo. So I came back and I want to finish the blackout tattoo because I'm not going to go back to Botswana just to finish the blackout tattoo. Although at these rates, it might be cheaper just to do that. So I am now writing an email to the tattoo studio because they quoted me a rate of $180 per hour. I got tattooed for about 2.5 to 2.75 hours, somewhere in there. 2.5 to 2.75 hours. That's how long I was there. They charged me for the full 3 hours. Not only did they charge me for the full 3 hours, they charged me an extra $10. And then on top of that, they had the gall, the nerve, the audacity to ask me for a tip, to which I, with no shame in my heart, pressed the no. I pressed that button. I pressed 0. I have no shame about pressing 0 when it comes to tipping anymore. I have no shame about clicking custom tip and then typing in 0.00. I did that in Botswana, and maybe that's why my relationship actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's why my relationship actually fell apart, is because we would go to this one place called Rocco Mama's, and because they had really good burgers and really good fries. It was like really good. It was like American style junk food. So we go there, and like there was a gym. So we went to the gym. We would go to the gym, and then we'd go to Rocco Mama's, but we would get the Rocco Mama's to go. And when I get food to go, no tip, because that's just me buying food. If I'm going to sit down at your restaurant, I'll tip. And I'm in a foreign, like in Botswana, I'm like, oh, what's the, like, from what I could gather, the custom tip percentage in Botswana is like 10%. And that's about what I would tip when we would go out. I started tipping around 10, 12%. But no shame about tip, like no shame. Custom 0.00 when it's takeout. So like with this tattoo, like, again, they have the audacity, the gall, the nerve to charge me $180 and ask for a tip. So I want to know what this extra $10 is from. Okay, so this is clear, fair, and ready to send. I'd only format the spacing. Okay, here we go. Hi, Pete. Okay, one more time. Okay, here we go. Sent. Done. I'm not doing that. I'm not just sending $10. Not sure it says he's here for the gossip. I don't know that there's going to be any gossip tonight. Not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it because I was going to drink. I know that you guys want to hear the story, and I want to tell the story. And I think that I'm getting I'm reaching a place where I'm emotionally going to be ready fairly soon to tell the story, right? But I want to drink while I'm doing it, just because. I just kind of want to get drunk while I'm doing it, because I think that would make it more fun for everybody, for me and for you guys listening, and for Cash Tune. I wish somebody would think about Cash Tune. So he's probably gone. Okay, so I sent that email. I'll let you guys know if they respond. I think they're open tomorrow. Let me see. Blackwater Tattoo and Design. Blackwater Tattoo and Design. Yeah, that's them. They're closed. What are their hours? Okay, yeah, I figured they closed. They're closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Well, I mean, actually, I guess that actually does make sense, because a lot of people who are going to get tattooed, they're professionals. They have a 9 to 5. So, excuse me. So it makes sense that they would kind of cater to professionals, because especially at those rates, they're going to be charging a lot of money. I mean, it's going to be professionals who are going there, because it's going to be a little difficult for somebody who's just working at Starbucks to pay $180 an hour for a back piece. So, let's just be real. So probably the people that are going there are probably professionals, and no, I did. Yeah. Let me see. Let's look at. There's only 2 artists there. Am I okay? Yeah, this guy. Yeah, this was not the guy that tattooed me. Let me log in. I'm gonna log in off screen. Let me do that really quick. All right, let's put a new song on. Okay, let's put a new song on. Come on. Okay, no, not that song. Not that. No, not maybe this. I don't know what this is. Let's do this. The login information you. Okay, wait. Okay, Okay, I spelled password correctly. My password is password. Okay, I got one more. That's it. Okay, third try. Third time's a charm. No, I don't want to listen to this either. This is going to just like, oh, what the hell? That's wrong too? Oh, wait a minute. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing wrong. Let's try that. Don't want to listen to that song. I mean, I do, but I don't. Oh, wait. No. Let's do this. Okay. I believe. Am I signed in? Apparently, I'm not signed in. Okay, let me try this. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just want to try and sign in to Instagram in this browser, and I don't know why it's not working. Okay. The CAPTCHA's coming up. The login information you entered is incorrect. Okay, so I'm going to have to come over here and actually look at... Okay, just give me a minute, okay? Cashtune, chill. You just need to chill. Just... No, I'm kidding. Cashtune, that sucks. I didn't know that some tattoo artists charge by the hour. I'd rather pay for a fixed price. It is a recent kind of thing that I've noticed. The past few times I've gotten tattooed here in the States, I don't want to say it's new, but like I have noticed that like more places do seem to be going towards an hourly rate. Okay, so let me see. All right. So I think I have the password now. It's actually, the password is actually password, but with a 0 for the O. Okay, here we go. All right, let's try this. Let's see if that works. Okay. Come on. Okay, that definitely worked. Okay, I can put the screen back on. No. So I was looking up Blackwater Tattoo. That's what I was trying to look up. Okay, yeah, here we go. Blackwater Tattoo. Let's just refresh. So this is the place I went to. I want to know where my $10 is, because at these rates, $10, like, I mean, come on. Like, I make good money, but I'm not making Cashtune 67 good money. Like, I mean, that's some serious money right there. Like, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to see. I mean, like, so this guy, I got the impression he's the owner, and I swear I thought he was gay. Like, just some people just, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just thought he was, because sometimes gay people give off a gay vibe. That's just how it is. No judgment. That's fine. Sometimes I give off a gay vibe. All right. Like, no, but I mean, it just happens. And then like, we were kind of like, at one point it was just me and this guy, and then the guy Pete who was tattooing me, and then like 3 men, and we're just, what do we start talking about? Well, we start talking about, drugs and bitches, right? Like, that's what men talk about. Not quite, but we just start, but then he starts, like, we just start talking about dating, and because like I'm kind of telling him like my situation, and then Pete's like telling me his situation, because like Pete was like around my age. Pete is I'm 51, Pete was 46, and so we're just kind of like talking about how, we're just like talking about our situations, and like how Pete and I were like in similar situations, specifically around being married, but then kind of like also like being able to kind of go do your own thing. And so I hope I'm not putting Pete on blast. Not that anybody's listening to this. I mean, it's just me not sure in Cashtune, so it's just friends here. But but this guy, he was talking, and I'm like, okay, like he's just gonna like sometimes people will just do a casual, just like, because we're talking about dating. He's like, and I was, so Pete and I were kind of talking about how, like, as we got into our 40s, we got more attention from 20-something-year-old women in our 40s than we ever did in our 20s. And like Pete and I are kind of like we're kind of like bonding over that. Like, right? Like, what is it? Like, like when I was 25, I couldn't get a 25-year-old girlfriend to save my life. But now, like they're just coming out of the woodwork. Like, it's crazy. So this guy, he starts talking. He's like, yeah, I think that, like, I find myself in a very similar situation. And I'm thinking, like, all right, like, this is where he's going to come out as gay, but just not like being like, okay, guys, I got to sit down and tell you something. No, he's not going to do that. He's just going to, like, casually mention that, like, yeah, the guys I date, they're so, like, something like that, right? He's just going to casually mention that he's dating men. No, he starts mentioning he's dating women. And I'm like, and I wanted to say to him, aren't you gay? You're not gay? But like, I'm like, all right, no, that might be rude. So let's see. So this guy, I think it's his shop, and I think he does most of the color work. Like, because he was tattooing a guy when I got there, and it looked really good. I mean, like he looks like he looks like his color work is really good. I see no pictures of the guy who tattooed me. Let's see. We'll keep looking. Well, I want to see how many followers they have. How many followers do they have? About 3,000. Wait, what the heck? Okay, come on. All right, let me see. Nope. So maybe the guy who tattooed me just doesn't show his face on the Instagram. Nope. Oh, there is this. No, that's not the guy who tattooed me. No, it's not him. The guy who tattooed me had pretty much a full body, not a full body suit, but he was heavily tattooed. He was like very heavily tattooed. There he is. So this guy here, there he is, right here in the glasses. Let me put the mouse highlighter on so you can see him. He's Filipino. Mouse. He seemed like a really cool guy. Like, I mean, like we're relatively the same age. Just like, I mean, yeah, he just seemed like a cool guy. So let me see. Yeah. Anyway, is there any mention of like the $10 special charge? Is there any mention of that? I don't see any mention of that. Like, where's the $10? Where's my? I want my $10. So, all right. Well, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to read. I'll read my personal messages over here. Somebody wrote, "What WTF is that?" Ha. Okay. Anyway. All right. So I'll let you guys know when and if they respond. And literally, if they come back with like, oh, the $10 is for the second skin. Oh, I will just not respond. And I will contact this fine studio and I will ask them if we can continue the work on my blackout tattoo, because I think it's just ridiculous at that kind of price to then charge an additional $10 for second skin, and not only that, but to ask for a tip. I'm so done with tipping. Let me open these windows. It's getting a little. Let me just open these windows. Oh, I got some cookies here. Cookies have traveled a long way. These cookies came with me back here, back to the U.S. All right. Yeah, Little Russia tattoo. Let me check these people out. I mean, like maybe Costa Tattoo. Okay, Tattoo Namibia. I mean, that looks good. All Yorkies look alike. Is it just me, or do all? Dude, you kind of look like Walter White. I get that a lot. It's because I'm bald and I'm wearing glasses and I'm white. That's why. I get that a lot. I actually get that a lot. All right, let me see. I mean, this tattoo studio, it doesn't look bad. I mean, that's not where I'm going. Oh, that's in Japan. So they're in Japan. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how much of this is filter, right? Because like the contrast, like those colors are popping. Those colors are popping off of the screen. So I'm trying to figure out how much of this is a filter and how much of this is actually like legit tattoo. I don't know. It looks like they do some. Wait, is that Swakopmund? That. Man. And then I noticed that the weather in Swakopmund is like, it's like 60s. Like, oh my God, it's 50s. Oh God. Oh, it's a lot colder there than I thought it would be. Let me see. I want to, Weather Underground. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, those temperatures are amazing. I've got to go here. I've got to I want to go there and just kind of like I didn't necessarily want to come back here. I didn't necessarily want to come back to my house here. I mean, like as some of you know, my intention was to stay where I was. And then things kind of fell apart relatively quickly, and then I find myself back here. And I will talk about like some. I'll talk about some details at some point. But the point is that like I don't want, like, my intention was not to be back here. I had no intention of living here again, and I haven't even unpacked, which has apparently been a theme of my life for like 2 months now, which I'll talk about it again. But it's so. I'm like, okay, I've got it. Like, I need to go somewhere. Like, where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go somewhere that's cheap and somewhere that's beautiful and somewhere that I've never been before. And I was thinking like South America, right? Like, you know, there's parts of South America that I have not been to. Let's see. So I was thinking of like somewhere along coastal Argentina or Chile. Like there's this one island in Chile that I've always wanted to go to. It's this island right here. Yes. Isla Grande de Chiloé. Like I've always wanted to go here. There's an airport into this, I think it's into this town, Castro. Because I remember looking into this island like 3 or 4 years ago. I was thinking about going there, and then we just ended up going to Santiago and then down to Punta Arenas down here. But I was like, okay, well, maybe we can stop here in Castro as well and just kind of like chill on this island, because it just looks like this like foggy, chilly, remote island. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So I was like, all right, well, I could go there. Or I could go, so maybe I'll go somewhere in South America, or like I kind of want to go back to Africa for some like sentimental reasons, but also for, how can I put this? How can I put this? I would say for the ease of access to a particular thing. I'll put it like that. For the ease of access to a particular thing, which is also, there is ease of access to that same thing in South America, but it is somewhat. It's actually it's. I don't want to say it's significantly easier in Africa as opposed to South America, because it is easy in both in South America and in Africa. It's the access to this thing. It's fairly easy in both, but I would say in terms of where it's easier, Africa has the edge. Have you thought about moving to Costa Rica? I hate the heat. The heat, the humidity, I hate it. I lived in Miami for about 2 years. I was talking about Miami today, because apparently a big theme of mine is like moving like across the country or the world for women, and then at some point it just breaks apart, and then I come back here to Northern Virginia. So I lived in Miami for 2 years, And granted, 2 years is a lot longer than this one lasted, but I would say that a significant contributing factor to the demise of my relationship in Miami was Miami itself. Because Miami, it was constantly hot and constantly humid. Like at least in Botswana, it's not humid. It would get hot it's winter there now, so it wasn't getting really hot yet. But it would get, like, there were some days where it got really warm, but it's a dry heat, which actually does make a significant difference. Whereas in Miami, it is just this unrelenting deluge. I don't know why that word comes to mind. Just this unrelenting humidity that it eats and kills your soul slowly. At least in Botswana, like it got a little warm during the day, and then at night it gets chilly. Like there was one morning where I woke up and I look at the weather and I'm like, it's fucking freezing. And I look at the weather and it was 27 degrees. It was -2, -3, -2, -3. And it was like, it was cold. And so at night it got really cold, and then it would warm up pretty quickly. But the inverse is also true. It's like as soon as the sun starts going down, as soon as the sun like hits the horizon, the temperature plummets. It just plummets. So I kind of loved that. So Costa Rica, I'm trying to decide, would I rather get castrated or live in Costa Rica? I guess it depends. Like, would I be anesthetized while I was being castrated, or would I just be like completely able to feel everything? I think if they were going to put me under and then castrate me, I think I would prefer that to living under Costa Rica, but I'd have to do some research, because I think Costa Rica, well, I know in Panama they have a lot of mountain towns where it's actually very cool up in the mountains. Maybe Costa Rica's the same. Let's take a look. Costa Rica. Let's see, maps. Oh, I thought, like, I did say something kind of funny, and this is something I'm going to share with you guys. So again, like, I'm talking to these guys about, like, you know, we're just all kind of talking about our situation, like in terms of like love life kind of thing, and I said I was talking, and at some point, like the guy who I thought was gay, he's like, because like me and the guy Pete, we're talking about how like at our age, like getting like 20-something-year-old women in your 40s is like a lot easier than trying to get those same aged women when you're in your 20s. And I forgot where I was going with that. I gotta start writing shit down because I have no short-term memory right now. I gotta start. Okay, does this work? No. Oh, so I said a funny sentence because so the guy, he was talking, he was like, you know, like I feel like it's so difficult. He made a joke. He's like, it's difficult for a pimp out there or something like that. But his point was that it's difficult to like be dating. And I was like, you know, like I've talked to enough women to know that it's really not that difficult. All you need to do, I would say it will, 80% of what 80% of it is just being fucking normal. And so I told them how, like, and this is where they were like, what? And this is kind of started the whole, like, kind of like not polyamory, but kind of pseudo polyamory discussion. But because I was telling them, and I'm going to tell you guys how my wife, like last night, like my wife and I were just talking, and she's telling me about these guys that she's been going on dates with recently. And that's how it starts off. And they're like, huh? So yeah. So anyway, but she's telling me how she goes on this one date. Apparently she's limiting herself to one date a week, and she's on a date right now. So anyway, but she says she goes on a date with this Indian guy. First date, she's talking to him for a couple of weeks, sets up a date, and the guy's like, all right, well, let's go to the movies. And she's like, okay, all right, so we'll go to a movie. So she goes to the movies with this guy, and then like they get their seats, and then he's like, do you want something to drink? And she's like, I just want water. And he's like, okay. And the guy, he goes and he comes back. This is a first date, mind you. This is the first time they have ever met. The guy goes, he comes back with a big glass of water. and two straws and a big glass of water. And what does my wife do? What does she do? She's like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. And just leaves. And then texts one of her friends and is like, hey, that date didn't work out. We want to go get, let's go get dinner. And so she goes with one of her friends to get dinner. And I'm like, did you even text the guy to let him know you weren't coming back? And she's like, no. I'm just like, oh my God. And then she's just telling me like these stories. And then she's telling me how she has no patience for this anymore. And how like this one guy she's texting with, and apparently like she's like, you know, like they match and then they start talking and she's talking to him, and then he starts going on about how like he's having problems at work and his mom is sick, and how like he had to come back from Portugal or Spain or something to live with his mom. And it's just like, and she's just talking about how like he's just kind of like dumping everything on her, so she just unmatches. I'm just like, I'm like, oh my God, it's so savage. So, but the thing is, and I'm not saying stuff like that hasn't happened to me, but I think maybe I have really good luck or something, because stuff like that doesn't happen to me too often, where like girls just like inexplicably like disappear in the middle of a date or just unmatch me in the middle of a conversation. Like, I mean, it's happened, of course, but but the point of this is all you need to do is just be fucking normal. And like I've had multiple girls tell me that one of the things that like set me aside from other men, one of the things that made me stand out from other dudes, is when you start talking, I never, ever ask for nudes or pictures. Like, I never ask for pictures, I never ask for nudes, and I never take the conversation sexual unless they do, right? And that's all you gotta do, is you just talk to them like a person. But apparently there's guys that are just like, hey, you know, just like, hey, can I see your tits? Or like, hey, you wanna see my dick? Like that. It's just like apparently that's rampant out there. And it's like, guys, all you need to do is just be normal. Just be normal. So anyway, that's a bit of a advice to you guys. Hung around for a bit. Sure you did. Okay. Anyway, why was I pulling up this map? I was going to look up something, wasn't I? What was I going to look up? I don't remember what I was going to look up. I think Not Sure is gone. Yeah, man, that sucks. The fucking humidity, even when you're still in the shade, it feels like someone's hot steam in your face. It does. But it's also awful because it's even fucking hot at night. Like here, like it's the time of, like this was another thing. Like, I mean, adding to the depression of, you know, coming back unexpected, you know, because my relationship over there fell apart, but adding to the, I don't want to say enormity, but adding fuel to the fire, to what made me what was making me sad, is knowing that I was returning during the time of year where if I take my dog for a walk at night, I will be sweating. I don't want that. I don't want to be sweating at night. Oh, okay. So she's telling me, okay, I hung around for a bit. You were ranting about tipping and some tattoo dude. Thought I heard the door open. I'm like, wait, is she back from her date already? And that's enough. So she's telling me how she's like, my wife is fucking savage when it comes to dating. I don't know how she got me to marry her. I mean, she's just telling me how she's just eliminating these guys for like these fucking arbitrary reasons. Like, my wife is an attractive woman, and so like guys are gonna flock to her, and she's just like, nope. And she's telling me how like she knew she had to limit herself to dating because she wasn't dating for like a relationship or sex or anything. She was dating for the free food. She's dating for the free food. And so today I come back from my tattoo appointment and she's like working out. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, you've got your date like at 7:00. When are you going to get ready? And she's like, I'm going to get ready soon. And I'm like, are you excited? And she's like, yeah, for the food. I'm just like, oh my God. And then last night when she tells me about this guy, we're like walking and I'm like, so, cause she told me earlier this week, like before, actually 2 weeks ago, I think she's like, oh, I got a date next week or something like that. And she'll usually tell me when she has these. And so I forgot what I was going to say. I have no memory right now, but so she tells me how she has started limiting herself to 1 date a week because there was one Saturday, I guess, of like a while back, where she goes to lunch with a guy for the food. I believe her. She has no reason to lie to me, but who knows? You never know. But she's saying she's going to lunch, had a good meal, then came home to work out, showered, and then went to dinner for the meal. It was just like, but that's the thing. Like when you are a woman, you could have a date for every meal and never pay. You could, like, it's crazy. But that superpower only lasts so long, ladies. Just keep it in mind. But yeah, I think it's pretty standard and pretty obvious that, like, because they always say that women hold the key to sex, but men hold the key to relationships. And I think that's actually very true. I think it's a lot easier for women to get laid, but it's a lot easier for men to find a girlfriend. So, go figure. All right. I need to get this fan. Where is that wanker Matthew? Where is wanker Matthew? Ha! Sorry to bore you. All right. Oh God, it's getting hot. Like, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Swakopmund. Maybe it'll end up being like somewhere in South America. I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on, like, I'm not gonna buy anything for like 2 weeks because I want to see where, like, I'm at, like, emotionally, mentally. Like, I want to see where I'm at in 2 weeks. I guess like 10, 12 days now. And that's going to really dictate it, especially since I really want Not Sure to move in but Not Sure, I know I made a joke about bang my wife or whatever, like, once you move in. I don't recommend that because she's savage. So I just, be careful. Just be careful. But, no, I want Not Sure to move in. And, yeah. All right. Let me tell this person she's being mean. All right, where is the mean emoji? There we go. Perfect. All right. All right, I need to do something off screen, and then we're going to start working on this game. I'm trying to think if I want to do something kind of a little, I want to do something a little, like, do I want to drink this Coca-Cola? Like, do I want to drink this Coca-Cola? I don't know, I kind of do. But give me a minute. I need to do something off screen before I get yelled at. Why is there a commercial every 2 minutes? Is there? Okay, let me see if I can do something about that. I'm not controlling, like, as far as I know, I'm not controlling it. Let me see if I can do something. Okay, I'm just going to press this button that says delay ads. I assume, okay, so there should be no ads for 10 minutes. Now if I do this and then I do this. All right, so I've delayed ads for like 10 minutes. So hopefully, but Not Sure. Why don't you make good money? Just get YouTube Premium. That is like the one subscription I like. God forbid I lose my job, but if I lose my job, burn through my savings, and go bankrupt, the one subscription I will still pay for if I have to get out on the corner and beg for change, the one subscription I will still pay for is YouTube. It's $15 a month. Like, stop being so cheap. Just pay for the premium. should I tell someone in Hindi that they know they are a mean woman? $15 is a few good meals. No, it's not. No, $15 is like one good meal. $15 might be a few meals, but $15 is not a few good meals. Sorry, it's not. Let me see. Tell me how to write it in English alphabet. All right, let me do this really quick. Oh, Matthew's here. I didn't even realize it was Matthew. I didn't even realize it was Matthew. Oh, look who it is, Mr. Wanker Matthew. Let me put this in here. There's the pouty face. Okay. I'm talking about cooking meal prep. I guess. Is it Botswana story time? No, you've missed it, Matthew. You weren't here in time. I told it. We like everybody was laughing. People were asking questions. I was answering every question up front and just like without filter. You missed it. You missed the whole thing. And it's not Botswana. It's not Botswana. It's Botswana. No. Not sure. Ban Matthew. No. You know what? I'm making my new favorite chatter, Cash Tune. I'm making Cash Tune. He's not just a moderator. He's going to be an admin, and then he's going to permaban all of you because I'm sick of you guys. There's no appreciation. I get no respect around here. No respect. None. You see how hard I work for you guys? I work hard. I gotta start learning Hindi. Ugh. I always thought Hindi was an ugly language. Okay, what is this? Recent login. Yes, that's fine. This is probably for the best, honestly. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I just want to know, okay, so they have not responded to my email yet. Granted, they closed 16 minutes before I sent the email. So, hopefully, let's see, are they open tomorrow? I think we looked it up. They're open tomorrow, aren't they? What was it? It was called Blackwater Tattoo? Blackwater Tattoo. Yes, they open at 12 noon tomorrow. So they emailed me this morning because I emailed them at like 5 a.m. I'm still like a little bit on Botswana time. Botswana. I'm still a little bit on Botswana time. So I'm still a little jet lagged. So like yesterday I woke up at like 4:30. Got out of bed at like 4:30. Today I got out of bed at like 5. And I'll probably try and settle around 5:30. Like 5:30 is a good time to get out of bed. Especially now that it's getting darker. Like when I left, it was right at the not the equinox, the solstice. It was right at the solstice when I left. So it was like bright by like 5:15 a.m. It was ridiculous. I hated it. But the days are already noticeably shorter, so I'm happy about that. No new information, not sure, says. No, but I think I'm going to ceremonially drink this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink this. It's the last one. But I'm also eating the cookies I got there. So this is like it's like unpacking the life that I had. Like it's the little remnants of shit that I got while I was there. And I don't mean like shit like it's a shit place or anything, but just the stuff. It's like I'm utilizing the remnants of the stuff that I got there. Whoa, did I get anything else there? Wait. Where did... No. Oh, sorry, Mulan. I did get these. And this is like... So, I love languages. I love learning languages, right? And so the language there is a language called Setswana. So I started studying it. And so I have Modern Setswana, an introduction, I've got this other book called The Circle of Life, which is basically just a children's book, but it's in Setswana. Understanding Everyday Setswana. Learn Setswana. Itute Setswana. So it's like, I was like, because the thing is I don't want to say it's an easy language, but it's kind of an easy language in terms of like reading it and pronunciation, except they do have a subtle click. Now it's not like Kosa, right? Like Kosa has that hard Kosa click. Like it's a very, and anybody, like any English speaker can do that click, that particular Kosa click. That's pretty much how you do that Kosa click. But Setswana, it's very subtle. It's like, let me see. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I looked up a video about like a while back, like trying how to do it. How to do, god dang it. How to do the click in Setswana. It might actually just be Swana. Okay, wait a minute. Let me stop the music. Stop. Okay. I've stopped the mute. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, I didn't realize. Maybe there was a player on the bottom. I didn't. If there was a player, I didn't notice it. Okay, let me see. How to say thank you? Boha, but that's not going to have the click. Wait, are any of these words going to have the click? Okay, that enshwaderle, that's going to have the click, I think. Kela boha. Sintle. Good.
Setswana conversation phrases.
Okay, we're all going to do a lesson, boys. All right. And behave. Cash Tune is new. I think he's left, but behave anyway.
Excuse me.
No, that's not the. He's going to get to the click down here at number 7.
Thank you.
No.
Goodbye. Husiami.
Husiami.
Sleep well. Robala sentle.
See? Did you hear it? Robala sentle.
Please. I see you. Please.
And like I would sit there and I would pronounce it like I thought I was pronouncing it perfectly. Nope, couldn't get it. So anyway, all right, enough about Setswana. All right. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so let's talk about this new game we're gonna write. We're gonna do a new game, boys. We're doing new game. All right. The scope on this game, it's gonna be smaller, but this game is gonna have some like meta elements. That's what like I'm calling them. I'm calling them meta elements. Like, and I got that, like AI is giving me ideas, of course, but I think so like one idea that let me pull it up. We were talking about this earlier when Matthew was asleep still, because God forbid he get up before 1:00 p.m. Let me see. Is it here? It's here. Okay. I think this is it. Oh, okay. No, but then I started asking AI, like, like there's a lot of games that use the microphone, and like if you make noise on the microphone, that affects the gameplay. And I was like, okay, well, what other mechanics? Because a mechanic that I've been interested in for a long time is being able to actually, let's see if we can get. I can't. I'm not going to be able to get it to work because of the camera thing. But one mechanic that I've actually been interested in for a long time is being able to get the player's pulse from the webcam. And I like last night I was downstairs and I was on my Mac, and I like this Python script that I downloaded yesterday and tried using, but couldn't get it to work because it requires a camera, obviously. And this is Windows, where only one application can use a camera at a time. So since I'm using the camera to stream, I was not able to use it on here, but downstairs, not a problem. So anyway, it's fucking accurate too. Like my downstairs, it doesn't have the brightest of lighting. It's not dark, but it doesn't have bright lighting. And as long as it is properly isolated on a big patch of skin, that damn thing, like I would use, like I have like a heart monitor thing. So it was like, they were like matching up. Like it was insane how, and I like, at one point I got up and ran around to like try and get my heart rate up. And I look at it on the heart rate monitor and I look at it on the script and it's still fucking accurate. It's impressive. So I'm like, okay, so like, how can we utilize like that mechanic? Is there any way you can like, and what I thought of is like, well, you kind of, if you want to scare the player, that's going to increase their heart rate. The problem is you're not going to be able to do the same thing to scare them again, because at some point they'll get desensitized to it. So maybe you could kind of use it as like the inverse. I don't know. I don't know. We need to have a small attack group to make quick games and fun St. Avalines. It's like Not Sure listens to some podcast about software development, and he's like, that's a good buzzword. That's a good buzzword. That's a good buzzword. Matthew says most gamers won't want to be on camera if they even have one. Shut up. Matthew, ban yourself. Just ban yourself, all right? Cashtune, can you ban Matthew? I think Cashtune tapped out. Let me I'm gonna resend the link to a couple of people. Just cause. And would somebody hop over on Twitch and see if there's been any action on Twitch? Because I am dual streaming on Twitch. Sorry. No action on Twitch, but not surprised with it being a portrait stream. Yeah, Dogfinger Studios is having a funding issues. I mean, well, we got to get this studio off the ground. Like, and seriously, Matthew, I'm not sure, you got to stop asking me for a raise, okay? Once we get more funding, I'll be more than happy to triple your salaries. Take what you're making now. I will quadruple it. Just be patient, all right? You guys are going to, it's going to be a big payday for everybody. All right, let me send, okay, I was going to send the stream out. Let me see. Okay, share stream, copy YouTube stream. Let me see. Who can I bug? I think, okay. Flava Pop. The people are asking for more Flava Pop. That's what I'm saying to Robbie. Make the least. You make the least amount of money. I make the least amount of money. Is Lisa done? Is Lisa off work? Are you still working? All right. Give me a second. I need to go. I'm not sure if I heard somebody come in or not. I'll be right back. Nope. I'll be right back. Come here. No, stop it with that. Just come here. Say that I think it's kind of funny because circling back to the topic earlier of my wife going on a date, I do think it's like, I'm trying to like imagine, like if I was on Tinder, but I'm trying to imagine, like if I'm going on a date with a woman and she tells me she's married and we're going on a date, and then what do you do for work? Oh, she says that apparently she tells the people that she is a babysitter helper or something like that. I wasn't quite sure I understood what she was telling them, but something with like, daycare. And then she shows up to the date in a Tesla Model S. So it's not the poor man's Tesla, right? Like the Tesla Model 3. it's like the first mass-produced Tesla. Now they had the Tesla Roadsters, right? The Tesla Roadsters were like the sports cars that cost like, I think they were like $250,000 for one. Like they were expensive when they first, that was the first publicly available Tesla. And then they came out with the Tesla Model S, which is kind of like what kind of put them on the map. And then it just took off from there. So she shows up in a Tesla Model S and she's a nanny. So I'm just wondering, like, if I was a man and I'm going on a date with this woman, like, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking, honestly. I don't know. Okay. No, but I thought maybe that was her coming back, but apparently there's nobody there. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh, I gotta find my phone. I'll be right back. All right, now I'm going to take a piss. I'll be right back. All right, so Matthew just has to go and piss on our parade because what the gamers, they don't even want a webcam. Well, obviously, we wouldn't make the webcam mandatory. It would not be necessarily a requirement of the game, but for the enhanced experience of the game, you would need a webcam. I think that, because apparently these games that require microphones, they do well, and not everybody has it. Oh, wait, this is Matthew talking. Oh, dear, not everybody has a microphone post haste. Long live the queen. Like, that's how he would say it. All right, I'm going to see. Heart rate as an in-world single. One thing that AI was talking about was being able to have files on the file system, create a folder structure that's somehow related to the game. And then if you move a file from one folder on the file system to another, now obviously this is all going to happen under user data or local roaming or whatever it is, right? Obviously I'm not talking about before you get your fucking panties in a twist and be like, oh dear, they're not going to have write and read information to the entire hard drive. Obviously, I'm talking we're keeping this to app data, right? We're keeping this to the small subset of directories to which the game will have access. But if you move a file from one folder to another, that's you could have that moving an object from one level in the game to another level in the game. But I'm not sure what to do with that mechanic. Right now I'm just thinking of the mechanic, right? Something and then it was also talking about I think it said something you create a file and then you can put messages in the file from the game, and then just all kinds of different things. If you delete a file, that file's linked to an object in the game, so you delete that, you delete it. So if you delete the file, you've now deleted the object that's in the game. And it was talking about like copy and paste, like basically just like hijacking, not hijacking, but basically leveraging. I think that's a better word. Leveraging all of these normal PC mechanics like copy, paste, file, copy, move, delete, create, like all kinds of stuff. So it was coming up with some interesting ideas. Let me scroll back up to that. Let's see. Recommend. The name is uncontained. Okay. What other meta mechanics? So the window mechanics, like window focus. Oh, wait a minute. I got a message over here. Give me a second. I gotta read this message on my phone. Give me a second, boys. Flavor Pop, are you in the room, Flavor Pop? Flavor Pop, if you're there, speak to us, Flavor Pop. Speak to us. I texted him, and then he responded, but I don't know if he's actually in the room or not. All right, let me see. Guys, say hello to Flavor Pop if he's in the room. Give me a sec. What was I doing? No, I wanted to look at this. This is the biggest thing I love about all right. Okay. That would work for a puzzle. Well, so this new game is kind of a puzzle game, right? It's a like the whole idea behind it. The whole idea is because you're a wanker and you weren't here yesterday, the inspiration is like, and I know, and before you even say, "Oh dear, long live the queen," but games like those already exist. I'm thinking of like the game Level Devil, but like from a first-person POV, like take level, like those kind of like puzzle games. And yes, I know there's plenty of them out there already, so don't even start with that. I get it, I hear you, but how many of those games like have file system mechanics built into them, or like window mechanics? So let's look. So I started actually putting down some of these things. Yeah, it's kind of boring. Window mechanics. Window focus is observation. The active window is the one the players... Oh, no, there was one that was really cool, I thought. Wait a minute. Where did it go? I don't know where it went. Huh. All right, I'll find it as I'm reading through these. I'm going to read through these kind of quickly, and I'm going to bring the energy level down a notch. I'm going to bring it down a notch, right? Because like this happens a lot, where like I start the stream with a lot of energy, a lot of like forward energy, and then I just burn out slowly. So I don't want to burn out because I want to stream for as long as I want to stream, and we've been on for an hour and a half now. I feel like I've got another hour and a half in me. I mean, Matthew's going to be up for the next 6 hours. Not sure is probably on a plane on his way to Seattle, even though he was in Seattle this morning. He probably took a plane to like Austin and then turned around and came right. He's probably headed back to Seattle as we speak. So anyway, all right, so let me see. Windows focus. This is observation. So when the game loses focus, and like this, right? Like when okay, that window no longer has focus. A creature. Okay, so this was kind of cool. So okay, well, first of all, the concept that AI has come up with for the game is that you're like, the concept is very simple. Oh, it's not so simple. Anyway, some event has happened. Like think like a murder or like some crime. Just like we'll just stick with crime. Some crime has happened, and you're kind of like the cleanup crew. right? Like the crime has happened. The police are like whatever, like things have whatever, like official things that need to happen. Those have already happened, and now it's like, all right, somebody has to come in and wipe up all the blood and clean up the mess and that kind of thing. And that's what your job is. You come in, but it has like a supernatural twist to it, and so like supernatural kind of shit can happen. But it's a puzzle game, right? Maybe the puzzle game, maybe that's a smaller scope and actually is something that like we can accomplish something on, unlike my Earth Simulator, which I wanted to write as my first Unity game ever. Oh, let's just write a Earth Simulator, which I still want to write, by the way. Let's make the simplest game that people actually play. Oh my God. Why didn't I think of that? A simple game that people will play? Holy shit, that's fucking genius. Even this is complicating it. Yeah, sure. You also need to think about graphics. Yes, but graphics are a definite part of that, sure. But I think it would be kind of like along the lines of Level Devil. You know, very basic, run-of-the-mill, nothing fancy graphics. And I'm not saying all these mechanics we're going to do. Right? This is just to like get ideas. Okay, so Windows focus. So when the game loses focus, a creature can move, time advances, certain objects are intangible, the room begins repairing itself. That's actually kind of cool. All right. If you Alt-Tab out of the game, that like your enemies start healing. And so like when you Alt-Tab back into the game, motherfuckers shouldn't have gone away. Okay, so window overlap joins spaces. So two windows display different. Oh, so I looked into this. So two windows display different rooms. I basically asked AI if a Unity game can have two different windows, and it can. It's just not really natively supported, and it's basically a hack to do it. So it was basically just like, yeah, just don't do that. Just don't do that. So this one is like, you know, so if you have two windows and they overlap, all right, whatever. Windows stacking also, I think, is also the same kind of thing. That is, it requires multiple windows. It'll be two instances. No, it wouldn't be two instances. It would be, well, I mean, maybe that's how you do it in Unity. I just remember just AI had a very long answer that I did not like. And I was like, okay, let's see. Can a Unity game have multiple application windows? Not natively. A normal Unity desktop build has one primary operating system window. Unity does not expose the runtime equivalent of opening a new window. So, but apparently you can have with multi-displays. So multiple displays can render different cameras to as many as 8 physical displays. Huh. Yeah, practical ways to do it. Launch another process. That sounds terrible. I mean, you could just do like you could have some like ICP protocol so that you have two instances of the same application that are just talking to one another. That's actually very common. It's very common when you have to have the separate window as an external process. But most of the time, well, with Chrome, I was going to do it with Chrome. Like this, I do not believe is a separate process. In Chrome, yes, this window and this window are different processes. But in Visual Studio, I don't know. Visual Studio Code, I don't know that these are separate processes. I guess we can just look. Come on, give me some Task Manager, baby. Let me see. So how many? 1, 2. I have a third. Give me a second. I don't know what this is. There's a mysterious Unity window, and I don't know what it is, and I don't want you guys reading my poetry. So, okay, that was the lean stuff. Let me get rid of that. Okay, let's see if it's a different process. See, this is difficult because Visual Studio Code is an Electron app, so it does look like they are different processes. That's not a good example. What about Visual Studio itself? I bet those are probably the same process, but let's take a look. But it can be done. I've seen it. I think so. Maybe it's a ball. Maybe it's like a paddle. What are you talking about? Not sure. Are you drinking? Are you drunk? All right. I have to chill with not sure. I can't be too mean to him. I gotta be nice to him. I hate that fucking guy. No. I don't hate that guy. I want to look. Okay. Yes. Let's go ahead and remove that. Here, let's do this. Okay, this is Visual Studio. Okay, so let's see. If I do... I don't know. What am I going to do? What the hell am I trying to do? Oh, where's Solution Explorer? There we go. What? Oh, my stars and garters. Anyway, the point is that, like, just because an application has multiple windows open does not mean that, and at least back in the day when I did a lot of application development, back in the day, it was, the safe assumption was that they were not different processes. And Chrome tried to Chrome kind of changed it a little bit, because what Chrome's goal was to have, like, you could have one tab crash, but the entire application wouldn't crash. I've been using Chrome for probably 20 years now, and I am pretty sure every time that Chrome has crashed, the entire thing has crashed. I think I've seen once where that feature actually worked the way that it was supposed to work. So, all right, be right back, making that now. And blood graphics tomorrow. What are we talking about? But it can be done. Take a classic game and remix it. Yes, we're gonna rewrite Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. We should make a badass particle-filled brick breaker. I swear to God, you just repeat words. You hear things and you just repeat them. Oh, you're driving me nuts. You're driving me nuts. Not sure. Wait, no. I'm bringing the level down. I'm bringing it down. All right, that song finished. Do I want to play, like, a song that's going to make me sad and, like... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it is. All right, come on. I'm looking at something. This is going to... What I'm looking at is going to, like, be indicative of, like, what I want to talk about next. Okay, we can talk about it. So, yeah, no. I don't want to be talking about, like, what I want to talk about while my wife is here. Like, that's just, like, I mean, look, everything, like, is, like, she knows everything. I know everything. Like, oh, I don't know that I know everything about her, but, you know, who, Jesus Christ, 3 dates in a day, and then, like, well, I just want free food. I'm like, all right, what? Anyway, but the point of it is like, I'm not really hiding anything from my wife. But still, it feels disrespectful. Not that, like, you know, Mr. Respect over here, but whatever. It still feels a little disrespectful if I was to talk about it with her here in the house. So, but since the Tesla she is in is still legally mine, she gets it after we divorce. Yeah, so since it is still legally mine, I still have access. I feel no guilt by looking at the app to see where she is, or at least where the car is. And the car is still in Reston Town Center, so that's good. Yeah, so I'll open this. So yeah, so this was the soda. This is my last soda from Botswana. Maybe I do want to wait until I get drunk. I think I want to wait until I get drunk. Which means I need to change this song. Let me see. Yeah, we'll just go with this. I agree with Matthew. I agree with Not Sure agreeing with me. Well, fuck both you guys because I don't agree with either of you. Okay, so let's get back to this. So a lot of this is about multiple windows, window edges cut objects. Okay. Anything intersecting the edge of a window when it closes, resizes, or moves may be severed. I don't know. That's a little nah. Snapping windows creates containment chambers. Snapping the game to the left half or the right half of the screen could physically divide the incident. Okay, so let's think about this. Left side snapping contains one entity, right side snapping contains another section. Maximizing removes the divider, and restoring the window releases whatever was compressed between the two halves. Windows can effectively become moving wall. I understand the spirit. I just feel like the execution, or at least that the proposed execution, is a little sloppy, or a little. It feels like you're not getting a lot of bang for your buck with that. That's the impression I'm getting. The desktop is the void outside reality. Okay. An object dragged outside of the game window does not disappear. It exists on the desktop as a small movable icon or miniature object. So this brings up the question of, I am not sure how like file system permissions or privileges work in Unity. So obviously it has permission to, the Unity, or like, obviously there is a folder that it has access to just by default. How would it work? So you start the game. I'm just thinking of like how it kind of works on like my phone, right? You start the application, and then the first thing the application does is it probes to see what, or maybe not probing, but it looks to see what permissions it does and doesn't have. And then it asks you for the appropriate permissions. So this could do something similar, but I would imagine that there is already some best practice in place for Unity. Right? I don't want to. Okay, we've moved off the windows, Matthew. Just chill. And I'm not writing this game for you. Okay, it's not going to have a dedication page or a dedication screen where, to my loving Matthew, without you, the future would be bleak. Or, no, there's not going to be any of that. All right, none of that. Chill. I do kind of like this. The desktop is void outside reality kind of thing, though. Yes, please include. Where's? All right. I don't know what you told me to include. No, I hate this song. Okay, I remember this icon. Yeah, I've heard this before. This is not bad. Oh, a love letter in the credits. No. This is not a game for Matthew. No. Okay, the desktop is the void outside of reality. An object dragged outside of the game in Windows. Like, I think that's kind of an interesting idea. Like, if I drag, let's see. How do I minimize everything? I got to do it on the main screen. Right? Like, if I drag an icon, like, like this right here. Like, if I drag it, that has some in-game effect. Now, granted, the switching back and forth between windows is going to be annoying, but maybe not. Okay, we're just spitballing. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're just spitballing. Okay, just chill. We're not snowballing. I know that's something that you and like Matthew and Not Sure all about, but we're just spitballing. So chill out. All right. The Windows position changes gravity. All right, let's stop with the screen. Okay, cursor and mouse mechanics. All right, here we go. The mouse cursor exists inside the world as a tool or creature. So this was an interesting idea where like you would have a mouse cursor and then you just moving the mouse would just have some type of physics on it. And so just moving the mouse, not even like holding the button down or a button down, just moving the mouse and like you're just pushing stuff out of the way. It could function as a flashlight, a magnet, a heat source, a laser pointer, bait, a scalpel. I mean, these are that's actually kind of generic stuff for games. Okay, the cursor becomes contaminated. After touching something of contamination, the cursor begins leaving residue wherever it travels. Okay, maybe. Mouse movement manipulates physics. Moving the mouse quickly shakes the room. That's all kind of boring. The left mouse button belongs to different... Oh, this was the one I think I was thinking of. So left click controls the player. Right click controls a creature. Middle click controls the environment. The puzzle requires coordinating all three. So that's something interesting to think about. The cursor can leave the window, but the player cannot. Well, obviously. I don't even know what that means. All right, keyboard and text mechanics. Copy and paste moves objects. Select an in-game object and press Control C. It disappears into the clipboard. Well, my first thought was like, well, why wouldn't you use Control X? And then the next one is about Control X. Okay, press Control V elsewhere to instantiate it. The clipboard only holds one object. Copying creates a duplicate instead of moving it. Pasting degrades the object. I like that. Living things remember being copied. Interesting. An object left on the clipboard begins affecting anything else. That's interesting too. So like if I Control X, it says Control C, but whatever. But if I basically Control X, like a living, not a quote unquote living creature to the clipboard, and just leave them there, it starts doing damage. That's kind of a cool concept. Like that's kind of neat. You just have like this monster in your clipboard, but it's like somehow held internally, so it's going to do damage. All right. Cut behaves differently from copy. Control X removes an object from reality, but does not immediately place it anywhere visible. Well, yeah. It's on the clipboard. The object remains in a transitional state until pasted. Leaving it cut for too long may cause it to panic, decay, or escape into another part of the interface. That's kind of neat. It could escape to wherever the mouse is. So let's see. So you copy you cut a monster onto your clipboard, and then your mouse is up by, like, I'm just thinking of like how the monster could just like start crawling around the GUI. I don't know. That's kind of cool. We're never going to finish this game. Undo. Control Z reverses the most recent action. Restore a broken bridge. Unspill a chemical. Return a body to where it was. Reverse a creature's last movement and undo the player entering the room. But the undo stack is limited. Some entities remember the events that were undone. The player may undo a death while retaining knowledge of it. These are all terrible ideas. You're a terrible idea, Matthew. How's that? Huh? How about them apples? Let's remake the Kill Barney game. Oh, there's only one thing I want to kill right now. Oh, and you typed it like a goddamn millennial. You know, like during the K asterisk LL, that's the kind of shit I expect from junior dev Matthew. But from not sure, grown fucking man, not sure, typing out K asterisk LL. I just, you know what? Just, oh, Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel, Jesus. I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I need some water. All right. Backspace removes history. Unlike delete. Oh, wait. Did we get delete? We haven't been to delete. Where's delete? Okay. Backspace removes the most recent part of an object's past. I'm not sure I get that. So a broken vase, you would use it on a broken vase to remove the moment it's shattered. Huh? I don't quite understand. This one doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Modifier keys alter reality. Shift reveals larger and older versions of an object. Huh? Huh. YouTube would censor me otherwise. I don't think it would it? No. No, I don't think it would. Yeah, you just typed it out. Kill. See, it didn't censor you. Okay, who's this? Oh. I just pinged Lisa, who, by the way, I'm gonna wait for her to. I'm writing a note to myself. When Lisa comes into chat, remind her that Botswana was all her fault. And I just want you guys to see this. Let me hide a little portion of this. I just want you guys to see that I have capitalized. Where did it go? When Lisa comes into the room, all. I have capitalized the all because this was all Lisa's fault. This was entirely Lisa's fault. All right. I'm alone, meaning there's nobody else in the house. That's typically what alone means. I'm alone. I have finished my soda. Let me see. I'm just making sure. Yes, all my fault. I haven't talked about it yet. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but I think I'm going to. But if you guys still want more detail, like Lisa knows everything. So Lisa, you shut up. You shut up, Lisa. You don't say a word, Lisa. You be quiet. Yeah, I'm gonna drink this soda. I'm gonna drink. This is symbolic, right? That's why I've been like. That's why. So like when it comes to like breakups and girlfriends, I have come to terms with the fact that I am a little bit of a little bitch. I just am. I am just a little bit of a little bitch boy when it comes to breakups. I get the impression Matthew might be too. So like I am a big crier, right? Like I'm a big crier like when it comes to that kind of thing, because to me it feels like crying is getting it out of me. Like it literally feels like, because like when you break up, there's like some physiological thing happening inside you which makes it hurt, and it's like, okay, you have to get the chemical balance, like because now the person which was supplying this chemical reaction inadvertently is like, okay, so that person's gone. So now you're having this imbalance, which is causing this physical reaction of crying. And to me, it's always been to me that like, okay, well, the act of crying is kind of fixing that balance. It's fixing that balance so that thing that was supplying that part, like I don't require that thing anymore. And so I need to cry in order to kind of get my levels back normal, and so I'm good. So anyway, crying is letting the part of yourself die. It's a positive thing to do. I cry a lot. Like when I'm going through like heartbreaks and stuff, I cry a lot. And that's why I say I'm a little bit of a little bitch boy, but I'm also a little bit of a sentimental bitch boy as well. Like this soda. It holds sentimental value to me, because even though I was only in Botswana for 6 weeks, not even 6 weeks, literally had spent more time with this woman on a single trip than I did actually in her country. But even though I was there for a relatively short amount of time, I I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously obviously I was already attached to her emotionally and physically sometimes. No, but so obviously I was a little, obviously I was attached to her. But then like the thing I love about traveling for extended periods of time is that you develop routines. Like, and this was an interesting conversation that I had with her quite a bit, was like how she would talk about how she hates routines. And I'm like, I love routines. Like, routines is one of the reasons that I prefer staying at an Airbnb when I travel to a new place, because I want to experience it like a local. And what do you do if you live there? Well, you have a routine. You get up, you have breakfast, or maybe you don't, or you go to work. And to go to work, you got to go catch this bus, and you got to take this train down this road, and maybe on the way home you'll stop at this grocery store. Like, I like that. To me, it's a good way to experience what it is like living in a place. I've always liked that, and it's one of the reasons that I like staying at Airbnbs. Even though Airbnb is kind of it's been turning awful for a few years now, it's still my favorite. What is this? Crying is letting the party. I read that already. It's a positive thing to do. I mean, I don't think crying is negative. I mean, but you are a little bitch boy if you cry. I'm a little bitch boy sometimes. Crying is cathartic. You know what? I feel like I know when to use the word cathartic, but I want to look up the actual definition. Define cathartic. Providing emotional relief through the release of deep pent-up feelings, cleaning the body, or purging the mind. Yes, okay. Great definition, Lisa. Great usage. Calling it bitch boy is degrading to the process. No, I don't think so. I disagree. I have no shame in crying. I have no shame in calling myself a little bitch boy. I cry. I cry when I get sad. Oh my God, what a little bitch boy I am. Yeah, But it's interesting because I feel that women, even though that it is like ingrained and pounded into our head that women are like the more emotional ones, in my experience with breakups, like I'm trying to let's go. I'm gonna just make a very impromptu list because I'm gonna get a number. All right, so there is that one, and then there was my baby mama, and then there was this one, and then there was this other one, then there was this one. And then now we're finally getting to the modern day. We're at this one, and then there was one in there that now okay, and then there is this one, and then there's one pending. Although the one pending is I don't know. I mean that's a weird one. Okay, so what we've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would define as not major breakups, but I would define as non-trivial breakups. 8, right? 8 non-trivial breakups. Obviously, some more painful than the others, like your first love. The first breakup is always very difficult, always very hard. But what I was getting to is like one of the things I have found is like I think even though like society tells us that women are the more emotional creatures, in my experience, it always feels that like they just emotionally check out, or not check out. They emotionally, I don't want to say move on, but they at least appear moving on so much quicker. And it just like and I know a lot of times like with some women, it's like an act. No, it is an act. Like in a lot of times because they want to put forth that face. They want to put forth that face that like, this isn't bothering me. I'm completely fine by this decision, or by the decision I have made, or by the decision you have made, whoever's making the decision. Like the woman is just steadfast. That's the word I'm thinking of. Let's define steadfast. I want to make sure I'm using that correctly too. Steadfast. Being firm, loyal, and unwavering in your purpose, belief, or loyalty. Yes. I mean, to some extent, yes. So it's always, I always feel this imbalance, whether I'm the one doing the breaking up or whether the one I'm getting broken up with. It always feels like there's this imbalance where me, emotionally, I am presenting myself as though my world is crumbling and crashing around me. And then the other person is just like, good luck with that. Like, good luck with that. Yep, good luck with that. So, I don't know. So, but getting back to this Coca-Cola, because I'm a little bitch boy, I see these trivial thing that were part of my routine. I see these as somewhat sentimental, right? Like the cookies I just ate, I bought some medicines. Like when I was in Botswana, I had to get some naproxen. I had to get some gabapentin. Like I just got some like random things because I was living there and I needed stuff. But now it's like when I took the gabapentin last night, because I take gabapentin every day, and I always take it at bedtime. And so anyway, but when I took it last night, it's like why does this fucking gabapentin has some type of sentimental value to me? And it's because I got it when I was in Botswana attempting to build a relationship build a relationship with this person. So I'm going to open this Coca-Cola because it's symbolic of, I guess, putting something behind me, or like finishing something that, I don't even know how to put it. Am I making sense? Now, like, we all cry, bitch boy makes it sound like a bad, okay. A lot of times it's because we leave a relationship after we've already grieved the relationship. What Lisa is saying is that women, and men do this too, I've done this, but I think women oftentimes monkey branch. Men do it too, but it is a lot easier for women. And this is why, another reason I always say that breakups are easier on women is because the dynamic is completely different. When a woman breaks up with her boyfriend, or like when the woman gets when the woman is single, newly single, whether she did the breaking up or whether she got broken up with, regardless, when a woman is newly single, she has 10 guys waiting in the wings. 10 guys that are their friends, and 10 guys who suddenly like, are you okay? Do you want to come over? And like, do you want to, you can come over and like, we like, I can hold your hand and we can talk. Like 10 guys, right? If she already doesn't have somebody else lined up. So like that, so women, they have to do nothing in order to find emotional support after a breakup. Whereas men, we are expected to be the ones to pursue women. We are expected to be the ones that go out and actually do the active action. Women, to get attention from the opposite sex, women merely need be passive. Men need be proactive. And when you are heartbroken, it is extremely difficult to be proactive. It is extremely difficult to want to go and be like, all right, let me go on Tinder. Let me go talk to this woman. Like, it's very hard. I believe women have such an easier time during breakups because of that. Now, I will say it's not all roses for women, because those 10 guys that are just waiting in the wings until her boyfriend fucks up, or until she breaks up with him, or until he breaks up with her, those 10 guys, the reason it's not easier for women is it's not that those 10 guys want to be that woman's boyfriend. They don't want to be her boyfriend. Maybe one does, but of those 10, probably 10 just want to fuck her. That's all they want. Okay, what about apparently, like, it figures that Not Sure is no longer in the room now that I'm finally starting to kind of talk about this. A lot of times it's read that. Telling a long ass story for something that could be a quick text. Give me the juice. I'm not sure there's going to be any juice tonight. I'm going to kind of circle around it and kind of come back to the juice later. I ain't doing shit for free no more. Dear God, I do not mean monkey branching. I mean, in a lot of cases, we've tried to talk to our partner and they refuse time and time, and they give us what we need to make the relationship work, so we start grieve before it's over. If you are grieving the ending of a relationship while you are still in the relationship, that's on you. Like that, I'm sorry, that's on you. Like, what women, it is amazing the hurdles women go through to avoid accountability. Like, you know, and I'm not saying what I'm about to say. I'm not saying you're doing this, Lisa, or that you have done this. But there'll be women who will be out there and they'll be like, well, you know, I had kind of mentally checked out of the relationship like 3 months before we broke up. So it really wasn't cheating when I slept with his father. Like, you know, some shit like that's like how women's brains fucking work. Like, oh no. And I'm not saying my ex did this. I'm not saying Lisa did this. I'm not saying anybody did this. I'm just saying that women do this. This is like, they're just like, yeah, you know, I was so done with that relationship before we actually broke up. So I wasn't even cheating when I went to that gangbang. Like, it wasn't even cheating. So that's, oh, it's insane. As a man, I can't imagine just being able to dismiss accountability as freely as women do. It must be a great gift. It's like your superpower. Matthew says most people don't know how to communicate. It destroys a relationship. And that was one of the things that happened here. That was one of the things. And I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna open this Coca-Cola and talk a little bit. I'll be right back. Where's my phone? There it is. I'll be right back. Boys, I'm back. Come back. Better than ever. Come back. All right. Oh man, there's a lot of chatter going on. All right, let's check this out. What do we got here? Most people. Okay, I'm saying we try to talk. Okay, wait. Before I read that, so this is a lot harder for me than it might appear. Like I'm pretty calm right now, but like opening this. It's kind of like accepting the end of something that I didn't want to end, which sucks. It sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna put some depressing music on because I don't know what I mean. This doesn't sound terrible. Like I don't hate that. But I'm gonna put a song on that's gonna trigger me. I'm gonna purposely do that. That's another thing I do a lot. Like when I get in these moods, like I purposely try to trigger myself to try and like get as sad as I can. And I do that on purpose because in my mind, it's like, okay, the sooner I can get, it's like there's a fixed amount of crying and emoting that I'll do. And if I can force myself to do it quicker, then I'll just be through the whole process quicker. That's how my logic thinks. That's how my brain does this stuff. Is that true? I don't know, but you know, whatever. Okay. Most people, okay, read that. I'm saying we try to talk and we get ignored and we slowly realize that they're just not going to be the person we need. So each time our needs are ignored, we grieve that. Okay. I'm not sure what you're getting at though. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm just not sure what you're getting at. I think if you have, like, if you are, like, in your mind that, like, this relationship is over, but you're still, like, physically with the person, that's not much different than actually just cheating on the person. I'm thinking about this, and it's like, it's not that much different than just kind of cheating. I mean, it's a different type of cheating as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it's not the same as going out and having sex with somebody else, but it's a form of cheating, I think. I'm thinking. Matthew says, we're here for you this moment. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Not Shore's not here for me. He's not here for me. I also found the new song recently that got me going. Hits a good spot, helps to heal. So I knew from the get-go that Matthew was a little bit like me in this sense, right? That like when he was talking, like when Matthew kind of came into the chat room and he was talking about his ex, and I think when we first met Matthew, wait, what is that noise? Hold on a second. Oh, it's the bugs outside. Like, what the hell is that? No, but when when Matthew first came into the chat room and was like, he just talked about his ex a lot and like they had broken up and like I was like, this guy is probably, I was like, this guy's a big crier. I even though he never said that, but I'm like, I could tell. Like, I know the type, right? I was like, okay, this guy's a big crier. I suspect this guy's a big crier and probably falls in love really fast and really intensely. And yeah, like I just, and boom, fucking nailed it. I'm always right. Oh, not sure. You missed it, man. I talked about the whole thing. I drank a bottle of wine. I told the story from start to finish. And yep, you missed it, dude. Sorry. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, he is. But I knew that because it's like, game recognizes game. That's how I'm going to put it. Because like, I am too. I will say that it gets easier as it gets older, right? As you get older, I'm not as, I'm trying to think of the last major, let me look at my list. The last major breakup I had was in 2017, I would say. 2017, when I broke up with my girlfriend in Florida, the one I moved to Miami for. And then that kind of went to shit. And because, I apparently, I need to learn that, don't move away for these women because I've done it twice now and it hasn't worked either time. Granted, the first time it lasted a lot longer than the second time. But it's like, if I look at, okay, so I'm going to, I have my list here. Let me rewrite. Okay. So this was, okay. I'm going to throw out some years. Okay. So this person was, God, this was like in 92. Okay. And then this one was in 94. I am old. Okay. And then that one, we're just going to say 99. That one, we're going to say 2006. This one, which the one that happened in 2013, Lisa was there for. So I've known Lisa a long time. Lisa was there for the breakup in 2013. And she was, she was there for the one in 2017, though I don't think Lisa and I were really talking a lot then. Then I had another breakup. Actually, that wasn't really a breakup. That's still just we never really officially broke up. So we never really officially dated either. So I don't know what that is. Then I have the one that just happened. So that was 26. And then I have a one that's pending, which is the one that's out on a date right now, which is, I was just thinking to myself when I was in the bathroom, I was like, wow, it must be going well. I mean, she's been there for 2 hours now. Let me see. It was funny because when she told me she was going, I knew she's been dating, and but when she told me she had a date, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then when she was leaving, I was like, yeah, I'm actually a little jealous. And I told her, I was like, no, I'm a little jealous. And she's like, oh, okay, all right, but I'm like a little jealous. All right, no, okay, so she's still on the date. She's still there. I tried to get my wife to show me a picture of the guy. She wouldn't. I'm like, all right, fine, I get that. And then I was like, well, can I show me your profile? Show me, and she won't even show me her profile. God damn it. Yeah, in 2017 we weren't so chatty. I was with Brad. Yeah, we were really chatty into like the 2013 one. Why am I looking over here? We were really chatting in the 2013 one. You remember that one? It was the woman that lived with me and her kid lived with me, and then like yeah, I think you were around for a good portion of that one. Anyway. 1992 when I was 6. Yup. I find myself very hesitant to even open this. Like I find myself not wanting to open it because it's like leaving. It's like leaving something behind. It's like letting something end that I didn't want to end. That's a better way of putting it. Letting something end that I didn't want to end. And I got asked such weird questions. Like I got asked such weird questions. Like when I was in, so like in Botswana, there's this service called InDrive, which is basically like Uber, except Uber is all like prepaid, right? Like you order your Uber and it says it's gonna be $30. You press OK, it charges you $30, and like it's not quite like that, but it's all just kind of like magically taken care of. InDrive is basically just like a taxi hailing service, right? You put in the app where you're at. Well, it sees where you're at. You put in where you want to go. And it tells you how much it's going to be, and then the driver, and then you can increase how much you're willing to pay, and then the driver can make a counter offer, and then you go, right? And then like they pick you up, and then you have to pay the driver in cash. So anyway, but it's cheap. Like I mean that like in Bolivia, like taxis are dirt fucking cheap. In Botswana, they're dirt fucking cheap. Like so in these poor countries, transportation is actually really really cheap, and so anyway, I mean, like literally going from like one side of the city to another side of the city would cost you at most $2. And like the funny thing that happens, like it's happened in Bolivia and it was happening in Botswana too. After I started learning, like, okay, well, to go this far, it should be about this much, and this far is going to be about this much. And then I would get like my girlfriend ex. Like she would do like because I would see her like sitting on her screen like getting into a bidding war with these taxi drivers. Like what? They want to charge me 30. This should only be 25. No, I'll go up to 26, but not a pula more. And so I started doing the same thing. Where like, what the fuck? They want 40 pula for that? No, I'll give their asses 30 pula. And then I step away from that, and I'm like, I'm sitting here arguing over 80 cents. I'm sitting here trying to win a negotiation with the driver over 80 cents. And I'm just like, what? So it's, I don't know. But I was taking InDrive everywhere, right? Like, so, I mean, cause like sometimes like her and I were going somewhere, sometimes I was going somewhere by myself, whatever. And I was taking, and like whenever I was by myself, like I would just strike up conversations with these drivers, and so like when her and I were kind of like going through it, like I was talking to the drivers about this, and it was like and it was just always funny because like I would tell, like I'm obviously a white man in this predominantly black country, and so like one guy, it was like the second time I was going to therapy. So like I found a therapist there, and I was going to therapy, and because I've done talk therapy before, and I was like, you know what, like I'm in a new place. It's very stressful. It's different. It's harder than I thought it would be. And also the woman I moved here for is not exactly the best of support systems. So I'm going to do therapy. And I remember I was like the second time I was going to therapy, and I'm like sitting there and I'm talking to the driver, and I'm just like, yeah, no, like I just, I moved here for a Botswana woman, and it's just like, it's not going as great as I hoped it would. And he's like, oh, have you met her? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, like I know a lot of guys that like they'll meet somebody online, and then they come here thinking they're going to marry a woman they've never met, and then they meet her in person, and like it doesn't work out. And I'm like, no. And I was like, no, we've met, like we've known each other for like 2 years and traveled, and like I've spent a lot of time with this woman. But it was just like things like that. What was the other person that somebody else asked me a weird question, like I don't remember what it was, something about her family or something. So anyway, I don't know. I need to crack the can. He's trying to prolong the inevitable. I am. To a certain extent, I am. It's like, it's... Not sure. Go to his house. Not sure is probably in Seattle. And Matthew, I know that like you're British. And so you think that like Seattle and Washington, D.C. is probably like an hour drive, which I know to the British, like an hour. Whoa. I'm only going to live 80 some years. I don't have an hour to drive to another city. Like, I know that's how the British think, right? Seattle is like a bit further. Seattle's a bit further. Crack the can, Lisa says. I will. I will. I don't know if I want to do it right now. I don't know if well, here's the thing. Like, there were two things that I was thinking of. Like, there's this can, and then there's a bottle of wine. Which I brought back. I brought from Botswana. It's a South African wine. There are no vineyards in Botswana, but yeah. So I was thinking that like what I would do is I would just get drunk and then tell the story drunk. I still think I'm going to do that. I might do that tomorrow night or maybe Monday or something. I'm not going to drink the wine and tell the entire story tonight, but I will open this can and talk a little bit about it. Because there's some things to say. I've got some things to say. I'll say that. All right. Are we ready to do this? Crack it off stream. I'm aware of the size of the United States. I'm on Google Earth a lot. Yeah, but still, you probably... Okay, so you're like, okay, well, yeah, I know how big the United States is. So, Seattle must be at least a 2-hour drive from Washington. And, you're right. I mean, Seattle is at least a 2-hour drive from Washington, D.C. Lisa says, I love that about Brits. My mom lives in Cardiff. Oh dear, my mom lives up in Cardiff, and it's so far, I only see her on holidays. And yeah, and Cardiff might be, 45 minutes from where that Brit lives. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, we will literally drive 4 hours for lunch. My parents live 300 kilometers away. It's a 300-pound train journey, around 6 hours. So since I am no longer in this relationship, I'm trying to look at like silver linings, right? Silver linings, because she's a Botswana, and so she has a passport from Botswana, and very limited in where she can travel visa free. And so like one of the things that was like kind of like circling in the back of my head is like, okay, this might possibly be a bit of a strain on the relationship. And that was that I was not going to be able to spend the winter in a cold, snowy, dark place, because I would be in Botswana, because the only cold, snowy, dark place that she can go to without a visa is Russia. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't think we're going to go to Russia. I can drive 6 hours and still be in Michigan. Yeah, that's the United States. My ex-colleague drove 3 hours to pick up my ex so they could have sex. Just 3 hours? I flew to Botswana to have... No, that's not true. That's actually true. I just thought it would be funny to say. Okay, I'm going to open this. I'm going to open it. I remember like, so when I had my girlfriend in Bolivia, and like we would get into these arguments, because like I would go down and like 3 or 4 times a year, and we'd spend anywhere from like 2 to 6 weeks together during each visit. And I remember at one point, and like I really liked her, and I mean I loved her, but she knew about like my situation here, and like she knew everything. Like again, don't hide. I'm not hiding. But anyway, so this is in Bolivia. Where I'm like dating, have a relationship, whatever you want to call it. I'm with this woman in Bolivia, and she would get into these moods and she would say, I just remember this one time she's in one of her moods and she says, she's like, I think you're just using me for sex. And I'm like, you realize that to come here, I have to fly from Washington, D.C. to Colombia, the country, which is about a 5-6 hour flight. And then I have to fly from Colombia to Bolivia, which is also about a 4 or 5 hour flight. And I have to do this in the middle of the night. And I'm like, I can get sex at home. Like, I can get sex back in the United States. I don't have to fly to Bolivia to just have sex. Like, if I wanted to just have sex, like, I don't have to fly to Bolivia to do that. Like, sex is easy to get. Like, it's, you know, it might not be the best, but it's easy to get. And so I just thought that was funny. That's what that kind of reminded me of. But you have universal health care, definitely underpaid the game dev anyway. We have lower, yes, you do have lower wages. Lower wages and higher taxes, but they do have somewhat universal health care. But, you know, a lot of times you get what you pay for. I mean, I'm sure the healthcare system's great. Everything is on its ass in late stage capitalism. That's such a like liberal nonsense talking point. All right. So, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. 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 I really don't want to do it. I'm going to do it. Let me check something really quick before I do it. What's this? Oh, I'm getting a notice that my stream this morning is, it has copyright content inside of it. I'm gonna end this song because this song is actually making me really sad. I'm going to play something else. I'm just gonna play this. It's not great. Yeah, and that's the thing that like, I think a lot of Americans don't realize is that like, so there's a balance because you get what you pay for. I said that earlier. So I'm sure that, but Matthew, is the problem with the UK healthcare system, is it more that the quality isn't great, or is it more that the access to it isn't great, or is it both? Right? Like that's the thing. Like even Bolivia has universal health care, but the access to it, like it's not great. And the quality of it isn't that great. So you paid for the can open. I did. But I don't want to open it. I kind of liked this girl. I don't want to open it. Wow, man, I might actually cry. Wow. Underfunded, staff overworked, waiting times are now critical. People are resorting to paid private healthcare just to be seen. Yeah. So, it's not all fun and roses. I remember actually, Lisa, it was Bucket who said something on AMB a long time ago that kind of made me rethink the universal healthcare. Like I know that like healthcare, like I think one of the buzzwords is like everybody has a right to healthcare, which I used to probably like before I read this comment, I would have said, yes, I agree with you. Everybody has a right to healthcare. But then I read this comment and I thought about it and I was like, you know what? No, nobody has a right to healthcare. Nobody has a right to healthcare. It used to be world class. The government ruined it. Well, I think, the government, unfettered immigration probably didn't help. Rising taxes with stagnant GDP probably didn't help. Things like that. I'm talking mostly about Canada, but I imagine that like Canada and the UK are probably have very similar economic situations because the healthcare system in Canada is actually very good. But I know that in Canada, the big thing is access to it. It's like when you get access to it, it's good healthcare, but getting access to it is a challenge. What is going on? I hate this song. Let's do this. Lisa says, I know, Addie, it's hard. It's okay to move on. No, and I will. I know. But look, I love my wife. I do. I love my wife. But this girl, let me see if my wife's still on her date. She might come back. But again, my fear is that my wife is going to come back and listen to this. Let me see. No, I mean, like, I love my wife, but I think in terms of like closeness, just like how close I am to her, not like physically, but like just like emotionally. It's never, and like she knows I love her, and she knows what I'm about to tell you. She knows this as well, but it's never been quite as much as I would like. And I think a big part of that is like the language barrier. Her first language is Thai, and mine is obviously English. I don't speak Thai. She speaks English, but her English isn't that great. And so I think that there's a barrier just because of the language barrier. It prevents the type of closeness and emotional intimacy that I wanted, or that I want. So yeah. So like this other woman, her English was great. Even though English was her second language, I think I told Lisa this, that she spoke it probably like, I used to say she spoke it like 98% as well as we do, but after like spending a lot of time with her, I'd say she speaks it about 93.5% as well as you and I do. So she speaks very good English. Obviously, there's some awkward wording here and there, or she misuses a word, but all in all, did you see that? Oh, shit. Oh shit, she's almost home. All right, I gotta stop talking about this, which means she's probably listening, my wife. I'm not gonna open this. She's almost home. I'm not gonna open it. I'll open it tomorrow. I'll open it tomorrow. I'll drink the wine tomorrow. Or Monday. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna open it. It's too late. It's 9:15. I'm gonna go to bed soon. She tunes into your streams? Yeah, she does. She's probably listening right now. My wife, yeah, she's probably listening right now. So I'm going to get off the stream. I'm going to see when she gets home, I'm going to see how her date goes. As you can see, I'm kind of losing my voice because I've been talking and screaming. So anyway, thanks, boys. Thanks for watching. I will be back probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll be back on Monday for sure. I'll probably do a programming in the morning tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk about things then. You never know. Maybe I'll even open this can of Coke then. All right, boys. I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.